came back into the market in a very big way.
What we know now is Wall Street can bring down Main Street.
People are seeing this, and those memories of fear are coming back.
When you have a 401k or a 403b, those kinds of accounts, they are incredibly susceptible to downturns.
The Dow Jones Industrial Average dropped more than 900 points. More than 900 points.
There are questions about how to best save for retirement.
Part of the problem is confusion.
Time keeps on slipping into the future.
The first rule in investment is don't lose. And the second rule in investment is don't forget the first rule. And that's all the rules there are.
When the market goes up, you go up. When the market goes down, you don't go down. Save Money Radio, your money safe and sound.
Welcome to Safe Money Radio with your host, Brad Pistole. Brad is a retirement and income specialist, primarily serving Springfield, but he's sought after nationally for his expertise in helping people secure their retirements. Mr. Pistole is a licensed life insurance professional in the states of Missouri, Arkansas, and Kansas, and he specializes in working with people who are near retirement and those who have already retired with wealth management, income planning, and asset protection strategies.
Save Money Radio, your money safe and sound.
And now, here to talk with you about securing your retirement, your host, Brad Pistole.
Hi, I'm Brad Pistole, a retirement income certified professional through the American College of Financial Services and your host of Safe Money Radio right here in the Ozarks for the past 14 years. Today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite topics, and it's something that's on everyone's mind today: retirement. The day you get to say goodbye to the Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. grind, and you get to say hello to staying up late, sleeping in, and doing whatever you want. You have spent your entire life working for this, and you've earned it. You get to be your own boss. You get to do whatever you want to do as often as you want to do it. And hopefully, you've taken the proper steps to do all the things you want to do to live the retirement of your dreams. And here's the deal. You better have the right plan in place to make sure that you can afford to do the things that you want to do in retirement. And today, we're going to be talking about this. Now, my good friend and world-renowned economist Tom Hegna has spent the majority of his career talking to people about planning for their retirement. His shows on PBS have aired in more than 80 million homes in the United States and Canada. He's written 2 best-selling books, Paychecks and Playchecks, and Retire Happy, 7 Steps to Retirement Security. And in his most recent book, Retire Happy, he talks about the 3 phases of retirement that everyone is going to go through. And we're going to focus on each one of these during today's show. Our number is 866-780-SAFE. That's 866-780-7233. And if you would like to read a copy of Tom's book, Don't Worry, Retire Happy, just call us anytime. We'd be more than happy to give you one absolutely free. Now let's jump right into the 3 phases of retirement and talk about each one of these today on the show. The 3 phases of retirement are the go-go years, the slow-go years, and the no-go years. And whether you realize it or not, you're going to go through each one of these phases unless something happens to keep you from making it to the next phase. So let's begin by talking about the one that most of us are focused on. The first phase of retirement is called the go-go years. This is when you very first retire and you're so excited to go do anything and everything under the sun. You're going to take the trips that you never took when you were working, or maybe the trips that you could never afford because you were raising children and helping pay for college and insurance and tuition. The go-go years are when you're going to play golf as often as you want to. You're going to go fishing and hunting whenever you want to. You'll go shopping whenever you want to. You'll go to the matinees and the movies whenever you want to. You'll go out to eat whenever you want to. You'll go visit family and friends and take the cruise you always wanted to take whenever you want to. These years are typically in your mid-60s to early 70s, and that's when you're going to go, do the things that you've always wanted to do. Now, here's a key thing to think about during these years. You are obviously going to spend more money during this phase of retirement than any other phase. Tom Hegna will often say to people, what day of the week do you spend the most money? And the answer is obvious. It's Saturday. You see, during your working years, Saturday is the day that you get to go play golf. It's the day you take your boat to the lake. It's the day you take your wife out to dinner. It's the day that you go to a movie. It's the day you go down to Silver Dollar City. It's the day you go to the gun show or the craft fair or whatever community event is taking place during that weekend. Saturday is the day that you spend all your money. It's the day that you're going to go do all the things that you enjoy because remember, you have to work Monday through Friday. But then Tom follows this up by saying this, guess what happens when you retire? Every day becomes Saturday because every day is the day that you get to do whatever you want to do, whenever you want to do it. If you want to play golf 3 times a week, you will. If you want to play golf 7 times a week, you will. You will go wherever you want to go and do whatever you want to do, and especially during the go-go years. This is the first phase of retirement. Now, I know this to be a fact because my father loved to play golf more than anything else in the world. And there were many, many times in his 60s and early 70s that he and my mother played golf 6 days a week. And they even took golfing trips. Their favorite place to play golf was in Colorado. And they would take a 2-week golfing vacation with their friends to Colorado every summer. Now, this shouldn't be a shocker, but guess what? Golf can be really expensive. Even if you have an unlimited membership to play golf 6 days a week at your home course. There are a lot of balls and a lot of tees involved, and gloves and shoes and hats and clothes, golf cart rentals, and buying things and maintaining things like your own golf cart or new clubs or new bags or replacing the grips on your clubs. And hey, that's just the beginning. If you have a golf addiction like my father did, you also know this involves the expense of many other things like eating meals on the road and at the golf course, and the gasoline from driving to and from the courses and on your vacations, and the list just goes on and on. So trust me on this. If you and your partner love to play golf, you could easily spend $25,000 a year playing golf, and that's just one hobby. Now, what about all the other expenses that come with things like hunting and fishing and shopping and traveling and various social events? During the go-go phase of retirement, in your 60s and early 70s, you're going to spend the most amount of money. Now, have you ever talked with a financial professional about your plans for the first phase of retirement? Do you know how you're going to be able to afford taking out a significantly higher amount of money in the early years of your retirement right after you stopped working? If you haven't, why not? Especially if you have a current financial planner and he's never talked to you about this. This is critically important to the success of your retirement. Remember, this will probably be a significant transition time for you and an adjustment because most people live on 60 to 70% of the income that they were used to making when they were working. And then when you begin your retirement, you start off by spending money on all the things you've always wanted to do. Do you have a plan for this decrease in income and this increase in spending? Remember, failing to plan is planning to fail, and no one wants to go back to work after they retire. Failure at this point in life is not an option. So let me ask you this. What is your plan to make it through this first phase of retirement? Do you have a bulletproof plan in place to keep you from running out of money in retirement? Both my son and I are retirement income certified professionals through the American College of Financial Services, and this is exactly what we do for our clients. We find out what their goals and purposes are for their retirement, and we create a bulletproof, foolproof plan that will allow them to do all the things they want to do in their retirement years and never have to worry about running out of money. Friends, if you would like to read a copy of my book, Bulletproof, the Safe and Secure Retirement Income Plan that will show you exactly how to do this, just give us a call at 866-780-SAFE. That's 866-780-7233. I do not charge fees to meet with my clients. So just request a free financial consultation. We'll take a look at your current plan and see whether or not your goals for your retirement are realistic. It's one thing to want to do anything and everything under the sun, but it's another thing altogether to actually have the money to do those things. You better have the right plan in place, and that's exactly what we do for our clients. Call us anytime at 866-780-7233, and we will put together the plan that is right for you. We will put you on a path to a safe and secure retirement income plan. Since I have to take a break, now would be a great time to call me for a complimentary copy of my best-selling book, Bulletproof, The Safe and Secure Retirement Income Plan. And I'll also give you a copy of my Safe Money Kit. My number is 866-780-SAFE. That's 866-780-7233. Isn't it time to stop exposing your retirement to market risk? You're listening to Safe Money Radio with Brad Pistole. If you're listening right now and you work in the Cox Health system, you might have recently received notice about an option that is available to you to move your frozen pension plan. One of the options available to you is to take a lump sum distribution, and you can roll this over to an IRA outside of the Cox Health plan. I'm a retirement income certified professional, and I've been helping Cox employees move their 403Bs and frozen pension plans out of the Cox system for the past 15 years. We know this system inside and out, and we can make this a very easy process for you. If you or someone you know has a frozen pension at Cox, just give us a call at 417-581-9222. Remember, this rollover is not a taxable event. We will show you how to keep this money 100% safe, and we will show you how to use this as a pension that will last the rest of your life. Our direct number is 417-581-9222, and you can call or text us anytime. Now remember, you only have until May the 19th to complete this rollover. So give us a call today at 417-581-9222.
You're listening to Safe Money Radio with your host, Brad Pistole.
Welcome back. I'm Brad Pistole, your host of Safe Money Radio. I am a capital preservation and strategic income planning specialist working with clients right here in Springfield and Ozark, Missouri. Friends, today we've been talking about the three phases of retirement: the go-go years, the slow-go years, and the no-go years. When you first retire, you spend more money than you do at any other time in retirement because you're going to go and do all the things that you wanted to do when you were working. You take the trips and the cruises that you never took before. Maybe you take the entire family on a vacation. You play golf and tennis. You go fishing and hunting. You take a lot of day trips. Maybe you run down to Branson and go shopping, or maybe you go to the lake or to Silver Dollar City. Maybe that's when you buy the boat that you always wanted because now you can use it anytime that you want. Maybe you buy your own golf cart because you plan on playing 4 to 5 times a week. But one thing is certain, during the first phase of retirement, you're typically going to spend more money than you do in phase 2 and phase 3. Because in the first phase of retirement, you will always be on the go. Tom Hegna, a world-renowned economist, says, guess what day of the week you spend the most money? Saturday. It's the day that you go do everything you want to do because you had to work Monday through Friday. Well, guess what happens when you retire? Every single day becomes Saturday. And you can do whatever you want to do whenever you want to do it. So you have to have a plan for spending money like this. Now, after the go-go years, you enter the second phase of retirement, and this is called the slow-go years. For a lot of people, this happens in their mid-70s to their early 80s. And this is when things start to slow down because you just don't feel like always being on the go like you did in your 60s and early 70s. You might only take a vacation once or twice a year. You might start to develop some health issues that change your dietary habits and your travel habits, and it might force you to stay closer to home because of doctor's appointments and therapy and things like this. This is normally when you start taking trips that are closer to where you live, and maybe the kids have to come see you during the holidays because you just don't feel like traveling the way you used to. You probably stop driving at night, and you find yourself going to bed earlier and getting up earlier. This phase of retirement is called the slow-go years for a reason, and you're going to experience a slowdown in many things, including your spending. You probably won't spend as much money as you did during the go-go years, but it's definitely a part of life that you have to plan for, because there are some key things that generally start taking place during the slow-go years that lead you into the final phase of retirement, the no-go years. And we're going to be talking about this in our next segment. And you really need to be prepared for this, because sometimes, even though it would make sense that you would spend the most amount of money during the go-go years and a little less during the slow-go years, and then hardly any at all during the no-go years, sometimes the no-go years are the years when you spend more money than any other time in life. And we're going to talk about why. So stay with us. After the break, we're going to be talking about what happens in the last phase of retirement, and that's the no-go years. Our phone number is 866-780-SAFE. That's 866-780-7233. And we specialize in helping our clients be prepared for all three phases of retirement: the go-go years, the slow-go years, and the no-go years. Have you worked with a qualified financial professional to plan for the three different phases of your retirement? Or do you just work with someone who puts all of your money into a brokerage account and lets everything ride? They probably live by the philosophy that the market has always done well and you'll be just fine when you retire, because they've put you into a quote, diversified portfolio. Friends, I've been hosting Safe Money Radio for 14 years, and I can tell you this. As a retirement income certified professional, that is no plan at all. And if you don't have a plan, it's going to come back to bite you in retirement. You need to have very specific plans in place for each phase of retirement that are designed to accommodate the spending needs that you have during each phase of retirement. This involves things like the healthcare needs that you have and the protection that you need to have, protection from market risk, protection from healthcare risk, protection from longevity risk. And that's exactly what we do for our clients. If your advisor has never talked to you about the three phases of retirement, I can assure you, they don't have a plan for you. And failing to plan is planning to fail. I've spent my entire career helping clients develop a bulletproof plan for all phases of their retirement. If you would like a free financial review to see if you have the right plan in place for your family, just call us at 866-780-SAFE. That's 866-780-7233. When we meet, I will give you a copy of my best-selling book, Bulletproof, The Safe and Secure Retirement Income Plan, and I will let you take the Retirement Income Style Awareness Questionnaire absolutely free. This will produce a 20-page report showing you exactly what type of accounts you should own to line up with your purposes and your plans for your specific situation in your retirement. Just call us anytime at 866-780-7233 and ask for our free information. That's 866-780-7233, and there's someone standing by right now to take your call. Since I have to take a break, now would be a great time to call me for a complimentary copy of my best-selling book, Bulletproof, The Safe and Secure Retirement Income Plan. And I'll also give you a copy of my Safe Money Kit. My number is 866-780-SAFE. That's 866-780-7233. Isn't it time to stop exposing your retirement to market risk? You're listening to Safe Money Radio with Brad Pistole. If you're listening right now and you work in the Cox Health system, you might have recently received notice about an option that is available to you to move your frozen pension plan. One of the options available to you is to take a lump sum distribution, and you can roll this over to an IRA outside of the Cox Health plan. I'm a retirement income certified professional, and I've been helping Cox employees move their 403Bs and frozen pension plans out of the Cox system for the past 15 years. We know this system inside and out, and we can make this a very easy process for you. If you or someone you know has a frozen pension at Cox, just give us a call at 417 888-581-9222. Remember, this rollover is not a taxable event. We will show you how to keep this money 100% safe, and we will show you how to use this as a pension that will last the rest of your life. Our direct number is 417-581-9222, and you can call or text us anytime. Now remember, you only have until May the 19th to complete this rollover. So give us a call today at 417-581-9222.
Now back to more Safe Money Radio with your host, Brad Pistol.
Thank you for tuning in to Safe Money Radio. I am Brad Pistol, a market risk mitigation specialist helping clients with retirement money preservation and income planning. On today's show, we've been talking about something that we're all looking forward to, the day that we get to retire. This is the day that we get to say goodbye to being someone else's slave, and we get to be the boss every day for the rest of our lives. We can stay up as late as we want to, sleep in as late as we want to, and go do whatever we want to do. I mean, that's everyone's dream, right? But here's the thing. Some people get to retirement and then realize they won't get to live the retirement of their dreams because they realize they failed to properly plan for it. Sure, there are a lot of things that they would love to go do, but they simply can't afford to do them. A lot of people find out during their retirement years that they're not what they thought they were going to be. You see, most people lose 1/2 to 1/3 of their retirement income when they're working, and that can be an adjustment when you're retired, especially if you aren't debt-free when you retire. We try to keep our clients from avoiding this problem in retirement. We want you to be able to afford to go do all the things that you would like to do in retirement, and that begins with understanding the 3 phases in everyone's retirement. This involves the go-go years, the slow-go years, and the no-go years. In the go-go years, you're going to go do all the things that you wished you could have been doing when you were working. And because you're young and healthy, you're normally going to spend the most amount of money during this phase. That's because you're going to go, and do all the things that you've always wanted to do. But then you'll hit the slow-go years. And that's normally in your mid-70s and early 80s. And this is when you just don't feel like traveling as much as you used to. You're going to do things more local, and you're going to stay closer to where you live. And by this stage of life, you're probably not going to have big expenditures like you did previously in life. You're not going to be buying RVs and boats and homes and cars and fancy toys. Normally, you're not going to spend as much on big fancy vacations. During this period of time, you might actually start selling things that you purchased during the first phase of retirement, and you might start downsizing and simplifying your life. And then you're going to hit the phase that no one likes to think about and most people don't want to talk about. You see, the third and final phase of retirement involves the no-go years. And this is when we start to lose control. The no-go years are when you don't have an option. You can't go anywhere and you can't do anything. And this is normally because your health and your age limit you from doing these types of things. Now, this might be because you're under home health care. You might be in a qualified nursing facility. Or you just simply may be at a point where you don't feel like traveling anymore. You know, we all hit the age when we don't like to drive at night or if it's raining. We even hit the age where we don't drive at all. And this phase of life can happen immediately and it can be unexpected. It can happen because of a heart attack or a stroke or some other type of accident that forces us to be under someone else's care. And this is where things can get really difficult financially. Normally, you would think that you would spend the least amount of money during this last phase of retirement. After all, you can't go anywhere and you can't do anything, so you would think that your spending would be really low. However, this is often not the case. The no-go years are often the years where you spend the most amount of money. And you want to know why? It's because of failure to plan properly. You see, currently the number one expense in retirement involves housing. And guess what? Housing often involves long-term care expenses. This might be because you're unable to continue living at your home, and now the nursing home is your home. And that's why the number 2 expense in retirement is always health care. This involves things like visits to the doctor's office or medical facility, surgeries, tests, scans, prescription medication, assisted living, and nursing home expenses, and the list goes on and on. Do you have a plan in place for the healthcare needs that you might experience during the no-go years of your life? Will your spouse or family members be able to physically and financially take care of you if you slip and fall and have to have rehabilitation? What if you have some other type of major medical condition that requires extensive treatment and recovery? These are the types of things that can pop up overnight and completely wipe out your entire retirement plan. It can literally empty your retirement accounts in a short period of time. The average nursing home costs in this area are between $70,000 to $80,000 a year, and the costs continue to increase every single year. We watch this happen to people all the time who don't have a plan, and we don't want to see it happen to you. This is why we listen to financial experts like Tom Hegna, the best-selling author of Don't Worry, Retire Happy, 7 Steps to Retirement Security. Now, do you want to know what 2 of Tom's 7 steps are? Secure more guaranteed lifetime income, and you must have a plan for long-term care. When you think about the 3 different phases of retirement, obviously one of them is going to be more fun than the others. It's the go-go years. It's the happy years. It's where you're going and doing and enjoying and playing and having fun living life with your family and friends. But then you're going to transition into the slow-go years. And if things progress normally, you will finally enter the last stage of retirement, the no-go years. You know, it's truly difficult knowing that you cannot go anywhere and it's beyond your control. But it is a realistic part of everyone's life, and it's part of your financial planning. And you need to make sure you have a plan for this phase of life. If you don't have traditional long-term care insurance and you don't have a permanent life insurance policy in place with long-term care benefits like critical illness and chronic illness, then you are a sitting duck for what could become a disaster in your retirement plan. The no-go years can sneak up on you at any time, and it's often unexpected. You could be in the middle of your go-go years and have an event take place that sends you immediately into the no-go years. This could be a car accident, a heart attack, or a stroke. It could also be because one of these events happens to one of your family members. It could happen to your parents. It could happen to your spouse, forcing you to change your life to take care of them. You see, if you have a plan in place for these things, then you can survive them. But if you don't have a plan, our government has one. It's called Medicaid, and they will be more than happy to take all of your assets, spend down everything you have, and put you on state assistance. And friends, no one wants this plan for their retirement. That's why we are retirement income certified professionals, and we're here to help you plan for every single phase of your retirement. We want you to have a plan for the go-go years, the slow-go years, the no-go years, and all the things that can pop up in between, sending you from one phase right into the next one. Has your current financial professional ever taken the time to sit down with you and talk to you in depth about your retirement years? Have they ever talked to you about their plan to help you take the money back out of the retirement plans that they put you into? You see, most of the time that answer is no. Most financial professionals are good at getting your money into the type of accounts that they want to open for you. And they hang their hat on how much money they can make you and what the rate of return is going to be. But very few financial professionals have the knowledge and the expertise or even take the time to talk to their clients about the different phases of retirement and how their risk levels need to be changing based on their ages and their situations. Many advisors don't even offer principal protection to their clients. They only offer accounts and products that are tied directly to the stock market. That's why they show you charts and graphs and talk to you about diversification, because they simply can't protect your money. Most of them aren't even licensed to sell life insurance, long-term care, or certain types of annuities that are guaranteed to protect your retirement and to protect you against nursing home spend down. And this means they cannot offer you guaranteed lifetime income. They can only show you hypothetical examples of what might happen if markets perform like they have in the past. Friends, when it comes to your retirement income, financial experts with their PhDs all agree you need guarantees in your retirement portfolio. That's why Tom Hegna and Dr. Wade Fowle constantly say you need more guaranteed lifetime income in your portfolio, and you simply must have a plan for the unknown, things like long-term care and medical emergencies. That's why you need to be working with a qualified financial professional who can help you with all three phases of retirement. So whether you're in the go-go years, the slow-go years, or the no-go years, you will have a plan for that phase of life, and that's exactly what we do. If you would like to read Tom Hegna's book, Don't Worry, Retire Happy, 7 Steps to Retirement Security, or if you would like to read my book, Bulletproof, The Safe and Secure Retirement Income Plan, just call us anytime at 866-780-SAFE. That's 866-780-7233. We will get you moving in the right direction. We will help you protect your money from market risk. We will show you how to generate guaranteed lifetime income streams, and we will prepare you for all three phases of retirement. Just call us at 866-780-7233. There's someone standing by right now to take your call. Well, I must take a short break. This is Brad Pistole, and you're listening to Safe Money Radio. Let's pause for some exciting announcements. If you're listening right now and you work in the Cox Health system, you might have recently received notice about an option that is available to you to move your frozen pension plan. One of the options available to you is to take a lump sum distribution, and you can roll this over to an IRA outside of the Cox Health plan. I'm a retirement income certified professional, and I've been helping Cox employees move their 403Bs and frozen pension plans out of the Cox system for the past 15 years. We know this system inside and out, and we can make this a very easy process for you. If you or someone you know has a frozen pension at Cox, just give us a call at 417-581-9222. Remember, this rollover is not a taxable event. We will show you how to keep this money 100% safe, and we will show you how to use this as a pension that will last the rest of your life. Our direct number is 417-581-9222, and you can call or text us anytime. Now remember, you only have until May the 19th to complete this rollover. So give us a call today at 417-581-9222.
You're listening to Safe Money Radio with your host, Brad Pistole.
Thank you for tuning in to Safe Money Radio. I am Brad Pistole, a market risk mitigation specialist helping clients with retirement money preservation and income planning. If you're listening right now and you like to play golf, you're probably going to love today's show. If you don't love golf, you won't love it as much, but you definitely need to know the information that I'm about to share with you because it's critically important to the success of your retirement income plan. Over the past 15 years, I can't even begin to tell you how many people have come to me for a free financial review whose financial plan was completely in the toilet because their previous advisor didn't understand what we're going to talk about today. So stay with us. And if you're listening to us on the radio, remember that you can always subscribe to our podcast and listen to all of our shows. You can also watch our videos on YouTube. In fact, part of today's show comes from an interview I did with world-renowned economist Tom Hegna in March of 2023. And you can watch this full interview on YouTube by typing in Brad Pistole and Safe Money Radio. Then just look for the interview with Tom Hegna. So let's get started. You know, back in my younger days, I was quite an accomplished golfer. I played collegiate golf and even played with several players who ended up on the PGA Tour. There are a lot of people who talk about being good at golf, but as you know, most golfers are just like most fishermen. They are liars. But at one point in the past, I was actually pretty good, and I got to experience some pretty incredible things. In fact, as I write this show, the 2023 Players' Championship is taking place, and I had a pretty unforgettable experience at the TPC at Sawgrass way back in 2006. You see, I played on a 4-man scramble team for Merrill Lynch, back when my father still worked for them as an assistant vice president and financial advisor. We won our local Fellowship of Christian Athletes tournament and then went on to play for the state championship. We won the FCA state championship for the state of Arkansas and was then able to travel to Florida to compete for the national championship. This included 3 days in a row of 18 holes on 3 different courses, and the final round was played at the TPC at Sawgrass. During that round, I got to experience something unforgettable. I holed out from the fairway on a par 4 and made a rare 2 in eagle on a par 4. We used my drive and my iron. I used a 7-iron from the fairway, flew the ball just over the pin, and sucked it back into the cup for an eagle. There were eyewitnesses on every hole because it was a national championship. So I had people there who took an unforgettable picture of me picking up the ball out of the hole with my father and teammates standing next to me. Later that day, my father hit a shot on the famous number 17 Island Green that landed just 2 feet from the hole. He almost made a hole-in-one on one of the most famous holes in the history of golf. Now, we didn't win the national championship. We actually came in 5th place, but it was one of the most memorable rounds of golf I was ever able to play. And in my 20s and 30s, let's just say I played a lot of golf. Now that I own my own business, I rarely ever get to play. To be honest, it just takes too much time, and it's so expensive now. And when you've competed at the level that I used to compete at, it's hard to play just 2 to 3 times a year, so I just rarely play. But one thing is for sure, I know the game of golf inside and out. I can teach just about anyone how to have the proper swing. I can teach just about anyone how to chip and putt. And I can teach the most important part of the game, the mental part of the game. And I absolutely love to watch PGA Tour events. So that's where you'll find me on a lot of Sunday afternoons, in front of the TV screen, watching my favorite players and taking a walk down memory lane. Today I'd like to share with you something that you may not know about the game of golf, but it's very important to the success of your retirement income plan. And believe it or not, as high as 40% of all people watch their retirement plan fail because they do not understand this, and they end up back at work where they don't want to be. So stay with us, because when we come back from the break, I'm going to talk about why it is so important to have the proper tools in your retirement bag. You see, in the game of golf, you're allowed to have 14 clubs in your bag. Not all the clubs are drivers. Not all the clubs are irons. Not all the clubs are wedges and putters. There's a reason for this. You need all of the clubs in your bag, and you need to use them at the right time. The same thing is true about your retirement plan. If your plan is to leave 100% of your retirement money in a brokerage account and to rely on the stock market for your income, good luck. You might want to talk to someone who retired in 2001, or in 2008, or in 2020, or in 2022 who tried this. If your plan for retirement is also to hide all your money under the mattress or to put it in the bank to keep it safe, good luck. Inflation is going to crush your retirement income plan. My son and I represent a second and third generation of financial professionals. My father was a financial advisor for 52 years. We are retirement income certified professionals through the American College of Financial Services. We know which 14 clubs you need in your retirement bag, and we can show you how and when to use them. Just call us anytime at 866-780-SAFE. That's 866-780-7233. Well, I must take a short break. This is Brad Pistole, and you're listening to Safe Money Radio. Let's pause for some exciting announcements. If you're listening right now and you work in the Cox Health system, you might have recently received notice about an option that is available to you to move your frozen pension plan. One of the options available to you is to take a lump sum distribution, and you can roll this over to an IRA outside of the Cox Health plan. I'm a retirement income certified professional, and I've been helping Cox employees move their 403Bs and frozen pension plans out of the Cox system for the past 15 years. We know this system inside and out, and we can make this a very easy process for you. If you or someone you know has a frozen pension at Cox, just give us a call at 417-581-9222. Remember, this rollover is not a taxable event. We will show you how to keep this money 100% safe and we will show you how to use this as a pension that will last the rest of your life. Our direct number is 417-581-9222, and you can call or text us anytime. Now remember, you only have until May the 19th to complete this rollover. So give us a call today at 417-581-9222.
Now back to more Safe Money Radio with your host, Brad Pistol.
Welcome back. I'm Brad Pistol, your host of Safe Money Radio. I am a capital preservation and strategic income planning specialist working with clients right here in Springfield and Ozark, Missouri. Hey, thank you so much for joining us today. We've been teaching people how to protect their retirement accounts and their life savings since the financial crisis of 2008. It's what we do every single day. If you've been listening to us on the radio for the past 14 years, or if you've been watching our videos on YouTube, you know we are the only financial group in the Ozarks to interview key financial giants like America's IRA expert Ed Slott, National Social Security expert Heather Schreiber, retirement planning expert and author Dr. Wade Pfau, and world-renowned economist Tom Hegna, whose PBS show Don't Worry, Retire Happy has aired in more than 80 million homes in the United States and Canada. We recently interviewed Tom on the show, and we talked about the game of golf and how it relates to retirement. And I want you to hear what Tom had to say. This interview can be watched on YouTube in its entirety, and it's from March of 2023. This is what Tom had to say, so listen closely. Well, Tom, I appreciate so much you being with us today. I want to talk to you about one more thing, and it's kind of off topic that we would normally talk about when we're together, but we were in Denver together last week speaking at a conference, and we got a chance to sit around and talk for a while just one-on-one, and we got to talk about something we both love. We love golf. You know, I was a college golfer. I used to be good. Now I'm just kind of scary dangerous if I can hit some balls, but because I have to work. But you now are entering that semi-retired stage where you get to play quite a bit, and I know you live in the land of golf in the Phoenix area. So you mentioned something this last week, and I thought I love that. Being a golfer, I watch it every weekend. I love golf. So you talked about how many 14 clubs is what you can have in a bag, and how important it is to use all the tools in your bag, and how that relates to retirement. Talk about that, if you will, for just a minute.
Yeah, so, you think about it, you have a driver in your bag, and that's what you use to tee off on the longer holes. You have wedges that you use to chip around. You got a putter that you putt. You got irons that you can come in from different distances. Each club has a purpose, all right? Now, I don't use my driver to hit out of the sand trap, and I don't use my putter off the tee, okay? But there are some financial advisors who only have one or two tools in the bag. Oh, I just do managed money. I don't believe in long-term care insurance. I don't believe in annuities. Well, that's stupid. It'd be like saying I don't believe in a putter. I only believe in drivers and 3-woods. That's all I believe. I mean, it'd be stupid. So I think the financial advisor who does not use all the tools in their bag is not the right advisor for you. You want an advisor who says, look, everything's open. What do you want? What are your goals? And let me put together a plan that's going to do that for you the best. I'm going to create the optimal retirement situation for you. And managed money alone can't do it. Annuities alone can't do it. Life insurance alone can't do it. But together, and that's what all the research shows, together, these products can work well. You can have the investments that can fuel your growth and protect you long-term inflation. You can have the guaranteed income. Then you can ladder it so that can grow too if you want it to. And then you can pay your basic expenses out of that, and much more efficiently, by the way, than an investment portfolio. Investment portfolio, they're saying now you should only take out about 3.2%.
Right.
I know many annuities out there that are guaranteeing 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12%, depending on your age. Right. So you can do far better with the payout from an annuity, at least for the income that you need, and then invest for the long term, but you also have to have a plan for long-term care. You got to know what your tax situation is. You want to have increasing income to compete against inflation. What if you live to be 130? What if they cure cancer? What if they cure diabetes? What if they cure all these diseases? And now you're living for 130 years. Is your portfolio going to last that long? See, guaranteed lifetime income pays you no matter how long you live. And so there's just so much out there. And, I encourage people just to read the books. The books are loaded with all the references that I use. All the PhDs are quoted in there. You can check up all my stuff. I always tell people, do your due diligence on me just like you would on anybody else. But my stuff is backed by math and science. So that's
absolutely.
That's what I got to say today.
And that's
Brad.
why I've been giving your books away for years. Guys, if you want to read Paychecks and Playchecks or Don't Worry, Retire Happy, 7 steps to retirement security. Just call our office. Call 866-780-7233. This is Brad Pistole, your host of Safe Money Radio. I'll be right back after this informative message. If you're listening right now and you work in the Cox Health system, you might have recently received notice about an option that is available to you to move your frozen pension plan. One of the options available to you is to take a lump sum distribution, and you can roll this over to an IRA outside of the Cox Health plan. I'm a retirement income certified professional, and I've been helping Cox employees move their 403Bs and frozen pension plans out of the Cox system for the past 15 years. We know this system inside and out, and we can make this a very easy process for you. If you or someone you know has a frozen pension at Cox, just give us a call at 417-581-9222. Remember, this rollover is not a taxable event. We will show you how to keep this money 100% safe, and we will show you how to use this as a pension that will last the rest of your life. Our direct number is 417-581-9222, and you can call or text us anytime. Now remember, you only have until May the 19th to complete this rollover. So give us a call today at 417-581-9222.
You're listening to Safe Money Radio with your host, Brad Pistole.
Welcome back. I'm Brad Pistole, your host of Safe Money Radio. I am a capital preservation and strategic income planning specialist working with clients right here in Springfield and Ozark, Missouri. You know, earlier in the show, I was talking about my younger days when I played college golf. And like all college athletes, you think you're going to be a professional someday. Well, that dream ended very quickly when I played against some true professionals who royally kicked my tail. I will never forget a specific day, my freshman year in college, when I got paired to play with Ken Duke from Henderson State University. Ken turned pro in 1994 and played in over 550 PGA events. He won 3 international events, and he won the 2013 Travelers Championship. He was a runner-up 9 times. He made more than 350 cuts, and he made more than $14 million during his professional golf career. And yes, I played in the same college conference with him, and unfortunately got paired to play with him one cold February day back in 1990 when I was a freshman. That day was an experience. It was the beginning of the realization that I needed to choose a different career path, and here's why. Even though we were both collegiate golfers, we were nowhere near the same skill level. On that day, when I was paired against Ken Duke, he beat me by 21 strokes. That's painful. It was 36 degrees outside. We actually had to wait on the greens to thaw before we teed off. And in 36-degree weather with a stiff north breeze, Ken Duke was the only golfer from 5 schools to shoot under par. I did not shoot under par. But thankfully, I wasn't the worst scorer in the field that day. In fact, the conditions were so terrible that 2 seniors from my own team shot in the mid-90s. But that day was a reality check. That day, I realized just how important it was to understand how and why you're allowed to have 14 different clubs in your bag. You see, Ken was a magician when it came to using the tools in his bag, especially around the greens. If you know anything about the game of golf, you know that many professional golfers may only carry 1 or 2 woods in their bag, but they might carry 4 different wedges. They might have a 52-degree, a 56-degree, a 60-degree, and even a 64-degree wedge. Why? Because as the old saying goes, it's not how you drive, it's how you arrive. Scoring in the game of golf is done on and around the greens, and the people who win the championships are the ones who chip and putt the best, and they make sure they have the right clubs in their bag to get them out of trouble around the greens. Your plan for retirement is no different. There are many different tools you can choose to use to get you through retirement successfully. Some of them will work, and some of them will only work in certain situations. I can assure you of this. You don't want to have the wrong tools in your bag at the wrong time. If you're stuck trying to drive with a putter or chip with a driver, you're going to end up in a real mess. World-renowned economist Tom Hegna talks about why it's so important to work with the right type of financial professional, because the right type of financial professional will make sure you have the right 14 clubs in your retirement bag. If the person you trust to give you retirement advice is trying to make you chip with a 3-wood instead of a wedge, you're not going to be very successful and you're not going to be happy. Trust me, I've played golf with more than one person who snapped their club or threw it in the water and then was forced to play the rest of the round with the wrong club. If you play golf, I'm sure you've witnessed this too. Maybe it was you who threw your putter in the pond. It's almost laughable. You simply must have the right tools in your bag or you won't get where you're wanting to go. If you are in or near retirement and your plan is to leave 100% of your retirement money in a brokerage account and simply rely on the stock market for your income for the rest of your life, good luck. You might want to talk to someone who retired in 2001 or in 2008 who tried this. Try someone who retired in 2022 who tried this. Ask them how they feel right about now. If your plan for retirement is to hide all of your money under your mattress or to put it in a coffee can or in the bank to keep it safe, good luck. Inflation is going to kill your retirement income plan. You need safety, guaranteed lifetime income, and inflation protection in your plan. My son and I are retirement income certified professionals through the American College of Financial Services. We know which 14 clubs you need in your retirement bag, and we can show you how and when to use them. Call us anytime at 866-780-SAFE. That's 866-780-7233. Ask for a free financial consultation. When we meet, I will give you a copy of my best-selling book, Bulletproof, The Safe and Secure Retirement Income Plan. I will also give you a copy of Tom Hegna's book, Don't Worry, Retire Happy, 7 Steps to Retirement Security. You see, when it comes to your retirement income, you don't want to be stuck trying to drive with a putter. You need to have the right clubs in your hand at the right time, and this is exactly what we specialize in. And it's why I've been honored to be named one of the Springfield Business Journal's Trusted Advisors of the Year. If you want to make sure you have the right plan in place for the back nine of your life, your retirement, you need to give us a call at 866-780-7233. Well, I'm about out of time, and I would like to thank you for listening to Safe Money Radio. If you're serious about your financial future, give me a call, and together we'll get your retirement savings on the fast track to accumulation while reducing exposure to market losses. Thanks for listening, and until next time at the same time, I'm Brad Pistole, reminding you to stay safe so you can step into a secure future.
Safe Money Radio, your money safe and sound.
You've been listening to Safe Money Radio with your host, Brad Pistole. Find out how to contractually guarantee that your hard-earned money is safe while avoiding market loss so you can have the retirement that you deserve. Call Brad Pistole now for your complimentary Safe Money book and Safe Money information kit at 866-780-SAFE. That's 866-780-7233.
Safe Money Radio, your money safe and sound.
The preceding information does not represent tax, legal, or investment advice. Surrender charges apply to base contracts. Optional lifetime income benefit riders are used to calculate lifetime payments only and are not available for cash surrender or in a death benefit unless specified in the annuity contract. Fees may apply. Guarantees are based on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the insurance company. No information presented today should be acted upon without meeting with a qualified and licensed professional. Obviously, by calling us now, you are just taking the first step towards protecting your retirement. It's important that you read all insurance contract disclosures carefully before making a purchase decision. Rates and returns mentioned on this program are subject to change without notice.